Hello, Booktube. This is the second day of LitMas, and it's my favorite flash fiction. This is a undertaking created by Stripped Cover Lit. Today is rather challenging. I didn't know much about flash fiction. I hear about it, but never really explored it. And I went online. I learned a lot. But because it's new to me, I didn't really find in a day's exploration something that was my favorite. But part of the challenge did allow us to find something that was maybe a little more traditional. And the suggestion was Hemingway was an example used, and for me that worked out. I'm a big fan of Hemingway, and I found something that I think would qualify, so I'm going to read that. It's from the Complete Short Stories of Ernest Hemingway, the Finca Vigia edition, which has a foreword by John Patrick and Gregory Hemingway. So these are Ernest Hemingway's stories, and there he is. And this book was published Charles Scribner's Sons, New York, and it's from 1987. So it contains short stories, but interspersed in here are some shorter sections, and I'm going to read a really short section. It's called Chapter 6. It's on page 105. It's that short. Excuse me. Nick sat against the wall of the church where they had dragged him to be clear of machine gun fire in the street. Both legs stuck out awkwardly. He had been hit in the spine. His face was sweaty and dirty. The sun shone on his face. The day was very hot. Rinaldi, big-backed, his equipment sprawling, lay face downward against the wall. Nick looked straight ahead brilliantly. The pink wall of the house opposite had fallen out from the roof, and an iron bedstead hung twisted toward the street. 2 Austrian dead lay in the rubble in the shade of the house. Up the street were other dead. Things were getting forward in the town. It was going well. Stretcher bearers would be along any time now. Nick turned his head carefully and looked at Rinaldi. "Santa, Rinaldi, Santa. You and me, we've made a separate peace." Rinaldi lay still in the sun, breathing with difficulty. "Not patriots." Nick turned his head carefully away, smiling sweatily. Rinaldi was a disappointing audience. So we get the usual Hemingway sentence structure, and yet he's able to paint a small scene. But it shows a side of war that sometimes we get the blustery Hemingway public image, but when he does this sort of thing, I really enjoy it. So that little snippet about the realities of war and the unreality of sometimes how it's perceived, even by the combatants, has always struck me as at least interesting. And the images tend to stick in my mind. So that would be LitMas Day 2, flash fiction, which, like I say, is something I'm learning about. So that shows that the intent of this challenge hit the mark, and I will continue to research and read flash fiction. So thank you, Booktube.